It's Tuesday on Your View. Welcome to the show. I am Morayo Afolabi Brown. As always, I have the ladies with me. Nima, how are you doing today?
Fine. I'm grateful to God. I had an experience. I've had this experience for the whole of 2021, so I thought to share. So do you know how we go online, we see pictures of very beautiful accessories, home accessories, and we decide to buy online. But once you open the box, you now discover that the picture and the box, they are two different things. Then you start to handle return, refunds, and all of those things. So just yesterday, a younger brother had bought a gift for his mom, and he called me from one of these major online whatever, a 300,000 worth gift.
Wow.
And we opened it. We press play. It's different from what we're expecting. So it's better you walk to the shops and buy, because the merchants on those platforms, something is wrong. Then you go on Instagram, you buy. I bought plate racks. I counted the number of racks. I opened it. It was not the same. I said, I want a refund. He said, I don't do refund. I said, do not an action. Because if you don't do refund, let me just sue you. Small claims, and come and collect my money plus damages. Are you all right? You know? So apparently, these merchants don't know that they have to demand standards from these foreign countries that are supposedly doing trade arrangements with us and dumping everything that they are
I was saying that we're
graduates
going to have to do a show on these things, because we get swindled not just by these little transactions, but they're buying land, you're buying, you want to invest in farming. These are just people get
what you ordered versus what you got.
Different. That they use beautiful pictures.
It's related. It's
I
related.
did a tab. I bought a tab, and this guy was slamming the tab on the wall and everything.
For marketing.
And I quickly said, 2 tabs. This one that did not break. And only to get home, immediately they brought it to my house. The thing felt like this, shattered, and he said, "It's not me, oh. It's one foreign guy." I said, "Are you okay?" That one too, we had got
all right, let me stop there, because I know that we definitely need to make an issue.
Organization of Nigeria should do the needful.
Yeah.
These products should not be allowed into the country. They should not even be marketed on any of these platforms for Nigerians to buy.
How are you doing, Mariam?
I'm fine. I have something so lighthearted. Yes,
please give us some.
Okay, how do you enter lightheartedness with this?
So this morning I was asking.
The makeup is beautiful first. Let me ask you. You look so gorgeous. So gorgeous.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Let me go ahead.
Thank you for all the compliments. Okay, so now it's lighthearted enough. So today I was looking at 2 sunglasses I wanted to wear with my outfit. And then I was asking my children which one fit better. And my daughter was like, you know, they picked, and was like, why do you want to wear, why are you concerned about wearing my sunglasses? I said, I'm going to pick up your dad, and I want him to think I look cool. I said, but you know, Daddy already thinks you look cool. So you don't need to wear the glasses for him to think you're cool. He thinks you're cool anyway. I was like, oh, the kids, they see.
Kids are so
they
cool.
see, they observe.
I'm
doing great. So yesterday on Instagram, something was trending. Apparently, these guys that troll people. So one of them, after he had trolled these people, he now went into an audition. Show. Yes. He went for talent hunt, and unfortunately for him, the 3 women he had been trolling for years were seated at the panel. They just went straight. They know his name now, so they always check. These days, employers of labor go to your Instagram page, they go to your social media platforms, and they check, they see comments, and then they saw it. They say, Uncle Oya, begin to tell us what you have been telling us before. He said, the life in Twitter is different from real life. So you sit behind your keyboard and you type rubbish against people you don't know, you have never met. People that when you see on a normal day, you don't have the same energy to give it to them. And you question their irrelevance. Say, Uncle, how relevant do you think you are now in the scheme of things? Okay, come to me. Yes, because I know that a lot of people sit down without knowing you, having anything to do with you. They just judge you and throw. So you can judge me in your mind and walk on by if you don't like my post or you don't like my comments. But you don't come to my page, personal page. That's my personal public space. You come there and you troll me, and then one day we meet and you're all... But see, personal public
space.
Yes,
personal public. I bought the data. It's my name on the page. You can. I see comments that I don't like. I see posts that I don't like on other people's pages. I don't go there insulting them.
Please,
you walk on.
If you are one of those that troll BC.
No, it's not about me.
No, I'm just telling you.
No, trolling is something we should learn.
Run, because you will grab you by the...
I wouldn't remember all their names, but there are some names that are engraved in my head. Any year we see.
Hey, I know.
We represent.
For you to take this story on, this thing don't pay you.
They don't pay me. I had fun. I had fun.
I know you're having fun.
Trust me, that guy has lost that opportunity. 3 ladies. Forget it. How you doing?
So we have to say a big thank you to Nike Olaore. She gave us beauty shirts, 51 shirts she sent to us that she shared with the ladies of your view. I've not even, the box is so big that I've not even opened it, but I have to say thank you to Nike Olaore. She wants to give us, so I think we'll have to share with our producers and everything. It's a lot of 51. I mean, I don't know what we're going to do with 51 shirts. But thank you so much to Nike Olaore. God bless you. All right, there's a lot happening. So the JPI is out. That's the hottest topic in Nigeria. But first, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
All right, let's start with The Nation. Federal government ASU on war path over unmet demands. Opposition mounts against zonal law school campuses. Terror finance in EFCC to beam searchlight on NGOs, says Bawa. Gunmen kill 15 in Sokoto community attack. NCC Iranian hackers targeting telcos and ISPs. Inflation falls from 16.36% to 15.99%. Okay, which story? Major headline, please.
We do ASU. Okay, so academic activities, they say, may be paralyzed in public universities because ASU had issued a a 3 weeks ultimatum to the federal government that if they do not complete all the meetings, all the memorandum of what's it called? All the MOU. At the end of the day, everything that they had agreed to do, if they don't continue, or if they don't start doing it, they are going to go on 3 weeks strike. But the federal government is saying that this money we're talking about, that's for the revitalization fund. Let me first of all mention some of the things they are, fighting for. Say funding for the revitalization for public universities, payment of earned academic allowances, payment of outstanding promotion arrears, and renegotiation of the 2009 ASU federal government agreement. So they are saying that the federal government is saying through the Minister of Labor and Employment in Gige that they had already paid the 30 billion for the revitalization fund. And it's with the banks that what the ASU needs to do is to go back to their primary employers to get this thing sorted, that they have already concluded on how the monies were going to be shared to the universities. That is not in their power. ASU, on the other hand, is saying that you have not paid anything. They've not received any payment. They've not received any money. They've not received, they're still fighting the inconsistency of the IPPIS and the UTAS payment platform that they wanted. They said they have not seen anything, and that Nigerians should hold ASU, the federal government, responsible for this strike that they are going to embark on. That they relaxed the strike because parents and public holders were appealing to them because of the fact that their children had lost opportunities not going to school. But now that the federal government hasn't done anything about it, they are likely going to go back in 3 weeks. Okay. I really do not know where to start begging who from right now.
Let's pick another story.
Yeah, so in Sokoto State, 15 people have been killed by bandits. Two local government area, the governor confirmed this. It says that the bandits, this happened Sunday evening and Monday morning. And, as usual, he condoled with the family, and we understand that the security operatives are on it. Then in Delta State, 11 people were kidnapped, but thanks to the prompt response of security operatives, all of them were rescued. One person was shot and in hospital recuperating. In Niger State, another 4 persons were abducted by bandits, and we hope that they are found. So that's our story now.
Okay. Let's send one more story.
Yes. The law school story. So according to Nation, Senator Smart Adeyemi has sponsored a bill titled Legal Education Consolidated and Amendment Bill 2021, which seeks to provide 6 additional law school campuses across the country. And this has been opposed by some other senators asking him why. Why is the Senate the one to provide additional law school campuses? The Nigerian Bar Association is also questioning that the body of benchers and the Council of Legal Education are all worried that this is not the right of the Nigerian Senate to do. Senator Kwerimadu clearly opposed to it, saying that the business of the Council of Legal Education, it is their business to propose or build new law schools, and not that of the Nigerian Senate. They should focus on the other important things, which I totally agree on. I think we already have too many. The business of law school is still as sacred as it used to be. additional campuses. We already added to the Lagos and Abuja campus. We have one in Enugu, Kano, and all of that. Right. We don't need to proliferate the entire state with law school campus as if it is a secondary school.
Moving on quickly now to The Punch. ASU threatens fresh strike, says agreed 22 billion allowance unpaid. Bandits want education facilities for children to drop, says Gumi. Metal electrocutes lady in Obi Kudawana's club. Police order autopsy. Ikoyi building engineers unveil preliminary reports, suspect structural distress and others. Outrage over Osun lawmakers' Semovita empowerment campaign for Adeleke. NSAS 9 confirmed dead at Lekki Tollgate, says Lagos panel. 4 banks borrowed $6.2 billion from foreign markets amid dollar shortage. And FG orders probe as Nigerian wrongly jailed in Cote d'Ivoire dies in prison. Okay. Major headline. Who has that story? Okay, we already have took us to. Which other story?
Yes, I have the human interest story. So a lady identified as Susan was electrocuted by the Hustle and Bustle Club in Aminu Kano Crescent area of Wuse, Abuja. The restaurant is co-owned by Obi Kobana. So somebody took to his Twitter page ranting that the incident happened and the girl was electrocuted by there's a metal floor. And the management did not accompany her to the hospital. They did not report the matter to the police. So they went into so he drove in with some family members and got to that place. They were refusing to present the CCTV footage to them, saying that it's the manager that's in charge of it. And the manager was sleeping for several hours, like he was having his beauty sleep. So at the end of the day, they finally got the CCTV and they found that she was actually electrocuted by the metal floor. So, but the management is saying now that they have to close down the club for a bit to mourn and sending their condolences to the family. So, and investigations are ongoing and autopsy reports. They will be expecting an autopsy soon to know what exactly happened.
Okay, so Shegumi has on a tour of Shegumi, of a school built by Shegumi Mosque Foundation. So this school is a center designed to educate headsmen. And he was on that tour, he was saying that this center, if replicated across Nigeria, will really help with the banditry, in the north. He says that because he's spoken to most of these bandits and they're willing to drop their arms if government can assure them that their children will get education and basic amenities. He says a lot of the money that we put towards military, what we need to do is find the root cause and put money towards it, and that once there's education and basic amenities, people will not pick up arms. He says these people come from a pool, and we need to drain that pool, and we can drain that pool with education. So this center that he has built, or the foundation has built, if replicated across the country, it would really help in our war against insurgency.
Okay, you have the Ikoyi building?
Yes, Ikoyi building. So the Nigerian Institute of Structural Engineers have, through their president, Dr. Kehinde Osifala, have stated that during their summary findings, they were doing a public presentation on their preliminary investigation of the Ikoyi building. And he says that there are clear indications that several designs brief changing on the project, and engineers' management of these changes appear to have been seriously inadequate. He said this building was initially designed for 6 floors. It was moved to 12 floors, further moved to 15 floors, and they don't have any clear instruction of us as to how it was increased further, and they didn't meet any of the requirements of the law. He says that insurance companies should subsequently start demanding that structural engineers are on site before they go ahead to do any form of insurance for such companies, for such buildings. Sorry.
All right, moving on now. Okay, we're going to go on a quick break first before we move on. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Now everybody knows I'm the man. Ooh, happy man. Ooh, Lord, happy
Enjoy the reward that sharing brings with the Airtel Family Plan. Get bonus talk time, SMS, and data for each family member you share with. Dial *141# now.
Now everybody knows I'm the man.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
How to make a perfect bowl of love? A perfect blend of taste that brings every ingredient to life. The fusion of different spices. The unique aroma that rejuvenates your senses. The heartwarming deliciousness. And the satisfaction that comes from every bite, which makes you say, I love my Indomie.
You don't wait for life. You go to meet life. It's not about how many chances you get. It's what you do with what you've got. Cup after cup. Morning after morning. Start strong. Finish strong. It all starts with a Nescafe.
As a business owner, there is no such thing as work-life balance. You are constantly working even when you shouldn't.
I need a great team.
Yes, you do. And Jobberman can help you find the perfect fit so your business can grow bigger and better. Jobberman is the recruitment partner you need to take your business to the next level. Go to www.jobberman.com/employer/hire-better today.
Yo, tell her to eat you up and cheaper at Bonable.
For those wondering why Schweppes changes look, experience tells us. Change is inevitable. Schweppes, made with over 200 years of experience.
At the first sign of pain, you need a solution that you can trust. Try Panadol Caplets. With Panadol's Optizorb formula, the tablet absorbs quickly and starts providing fast and effective pain relief you can trust. Try Panadol Caplets.
Moving on now to Daily Sun. Lagos #NSAS panel awards 409.7 million naira to 70 petitioners. ASU threatens fresh strike, gives federal government 3 weeks ultimatum. COVID-19 fake vaccination certificate now in circulation, says federal government. Kalu Tinubu others warn Sani Dangote. Government strike traditional rulers' home in Benue, kill son and abduct daughter. Death of Nigerian in Cote d'Ivoire sparks outrage. And CGC places prison officials on red alerts for the Yuletide season. Okay, so there's a report that is circulating right now, which is the Judicial Panel Inquiry Report that we've all been waiting for. And based on this report that we've seen, we're still waiting for the official release from the government. But right now, obviously, it's on social media. And there are 5 key things that the report did say. The report did acknowledge that the Nigerian army was invited to intervene, and saying that the army actually... let me have it here. Let me see the quote here. It says the army shot, injured, killed unarmed, helpless, and defenseless protesters without provocation or justification. Secondly, the panel did acknowledge that they found that the Nigerian police also deployed officers to shoot, assaulted, and batter unarmed protesters, which led to the injuries and deaths. Thirdly, the panel also found that the LCC hampered investigation by not providing video footage of the Lekki toll gate on the night of the 20th of October. Well, fourthly, the panel also found that there was an invitation of the Nigerian army by the governor, obviously, but it was deployed by the Nigerian army themselves. And fifth, the panel found that there was an attempt to cover up the incident by the cleaning up quickly of the scene of the investigation. So that's a summary of what was found, and they get about 32 recommendations. I think the governor has said they're going to come out, has set up a 4-man panel to come up with a white paper within 2 weeks. So we await that and then be able to discuss and have a more wholesome conversation, because I know Nigerians are waiting to have this conversation. Trust me, we are all eager to have this conversation, but we will wait for the white paper to come out and then take it up from there and have a proper, robust conversation on this. But it's interesting that it's the panel report is out and we know exactly, and it was not, and I must acknowledge that the government set up this panel to investigate, because, you know, there's always this position that we want to cover up, but I'm happy that this panel was allowed, because in Abacha season, I mean, the Babangida, you can never have this kind of report come out. So I'm happy that this report came out and it was not hampered.
If you read the report, all sides of it, there's a balanced way they took the report.
Yes.
Based on evidences seen.
Yes.
The Honorable Justice Chairman, there was the chairperson of that panel, did a good job using the facts before them.
Yes.
Facts not available, they found out why they were not available, why they could not be accessed, and they reached a report that seemed to be totally independently reached. That's what I appreciate about the panel.
And they gave about 25 million
recommendations,
go ahead.
and I hope that would.
They gave about 25 million to the deceased, 15 million to those that are assaulted and injured, and I think about 10 million or so to others. So
they also indirected individuals.
I think what is most important is the acknowledgement that people were killed on the day.
Which is the big question and the big elephant that was in the room since DJ Copy made this allegation. DJ Switch made this allegation in the early debate. I'm happy that at least now, based on this report that is circulating, that it is obviously she was telling the truth.
So the federal government, yes, has been raising alarm that there is a black market for illegal vaccination certificates, and people are already patronizing, and they are warning. They said they got an intelligence report and they have investigated. They found some people culpable already, and they are going to be prosecuted seriously for this. They are warning other people, saying that there is no need for you to get that illegal vaccination. Just go and take your vaccinations. And if there's any need for them to test the cards, that you cannot run away, because they have data of all the people that have been vaccinated. The presidential chairman of the Presidential Steering Committee also is saying that they are rolling out plans to ensure that 50% of Nigerians would have been vaccinated by, I think, February 2022. They are working towards that. Plans are underway. More vaccines are coming in. But we should also take care, because they said they are monitoring other places and they are noticing that the virus is still very much around. We should also, follow the protocols, the measures, the social distancing, wearing our face masks.
Okay, let's move on quickly now to Vanguard. So let's find a story of not taking COVID-19. FG set 2022 deadline to end pandemic, laments high fatality. APC, Buni Marafa's feud gets messier. Mental health chat room debuts today. FG provides 656 billion bridging facility for states. UK raises threat level after Liverpool bomb blast. 50 insurgents killed in Borno counter-offensive after general's death. Okay, which story are we taking?
I don't know whether you read that, provides 656 billion naira bridging facility for states. So according to the Minister for Finance, Zainab Ahmed, the federal government and the president has approved this amount of money to cushion the effect of the resumed bailout deductions from states' allocation that will be going on. And she said that this would last for a period of 6 months to assist the states.
Yes, so the federal government too has set 2022 as the target year to end the COVID-19 pandemic, and that there's going to be a summit next month to review the targets set on the pandemic. They're also, complaining about the increase in the COVID-19 case fatality ratio, although they blame it on vaccine hesitancy, representation of the cases, and other factors. And it's in the same event that they were talking about the unscrupulous people collecting fake cards as well. It says that Nigeria has lost nearly 3,000 people to the pandemic, but the government said that poor record keeping, especially in rural areas, may have, distorted the numbers a bit for us, because we know that it will be higher if record keeping was, done well, and especially in those areas. So we're hoping if the summit meets, we would know what the target is for, ending the pandemic as it is right now in our country.
Okay, moving on to the Nigerian Tribune. NSAS panel establishes killing in Lekki. Government set up 4-man panel on white paper. 7 burnt to death in Lagos-Ibadan expressway crash. Court rejects Lagos PDP from secretariat over unpaid rent. 3 years after daughter's gruesome death, mother suffers same fate. Makinde directs withdrawal of doctored local government appointees list. North, with highest indexes of social challenges bedeviling Nigeria, says Jega. Journalist death, family says police, IRT, SWAT reports confusing. Council of Legal Education, NBA senators reject proposed establishment of 6 law school campuses and also threatens fresh strike. Okay.
Yeah, so the journalist, Mr. Salem, that we've been talking about, that his body was found, during a condolence visit to the family, his older sister says that she is not convinced because she's getting conflicting reports from the IRT and SWAT, and that the police had said on TV that they had identified the body and they haven't. There's a report that says that the body was packed in a bag, and then another, that shows that the body was burnt. So what exactly? And she's saying she's seeking justice for his child, and says for every one of us, journalists, we should take this seriously, that yes, it has happened to him, but if justice is not, properly carried out, this person can go ahead and do this again. She says she's not accusing any one person, but it's important that whoever did this should be found and prosecuted, just for our own sakes as well, and for justice for his daughter.
So a 60-year-old woman, Mrs. Ajayi, who lost her 20-year-old daughter 3 years ago. I remember we took that story on the show. The daughter had an issue with the boyfriend, and then she was raped in the house. Nothing was taken, and stabbed to death with kitchen knives.
Yes.
Yeah, so 3 years, she had to move out of the house. She just moved back in a year ago with an adopted daughter, just to recover from what has happened. Last week, the same fate met her. So these unknown people, broke in through the roof into her room, stabbed her multiple times, killed her, then used clothes from her wardrobe and covered her. So according to her daughter, she said she went to her room in the morning to look for her for their prayers and didn't find her. Then raised an alarm, and they found her covered. She was already dead in blood and everything. So some family members are talking to the police and saying that there may be a link between her daughter's death 3 years ago, because she died the same way, and herself. And so the investigations need to be conducted properly to ascertain the link between the two deaths, because they are very similar. The people who killed her did not take anything, any property from the house. And the first time that happened, they accused the boyfriend, who was taken to court, went to prison, but then was released because probably lack of evidence. He said he had no hand in it. But the mother at the time reported that the boy had been pressuring the daughter for sex, and she refused. So she spoke to him to say, can you calm down, give her some time? And then he caused something else. So he was suspected, and now he's been released. So they're trying to find the link. But I think the police should do their job and see how they can trace.
Okay, any other story that we've not taken? Then that's all we can do. Let me just say, The Guardian, inflation decelerates, defies market reality. Government gets 3 weeks to meet ASU, and the local airlines order 16 new aircraft at $1.2 billion at the Dubai Air Show. While some of us are crying here, some people are still going to Dubai Air Show, ordering aircrafts.
All hands are not equal.
All hands are not equal.
Fingers are not equal.
I mean, all fingers.
Even the hands, my left is longer than my right.
All right, that is all we can take on the show. As I said, there's so many hot topics today. There's the issue of the judicial panel inquiry, which I know Nigerians want to talk about. There's also the issue of the brutality of a naval student, which is trending on social media. And there's the issue of the young girl that died in custody at Côte d'Ivoire. These are key topics that Nigerians want to talk about, but we're going to go on a break. When we come back, we'll start with one of them. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Looking fresh for your dates? Get even fresher with Close Up. New Close Up Triple Fresh formula. It cleans deeply, fights 99% of bacteria, and cools intensely, keeping you protected and fresh.
Let's take a picture.
Still fresh, still protected.
Feeling cool and protected.
All day confidence to get close.
Oh, yeah, take me close.
New Close Up Triple Fresh Formula.
Heartburn and indigestion? Try Gestede. My recommendation for the past 26 years, Gestede. Reliable remedy for heartburn, indigestion, flatulence, and acidity.
Minister for Enjoyment is what everyone calls me because I love to enjoy myself.
So creamy. So good.
Enjoyment Minister, can we get back to the meeting?
Sorry, Cowbell Evaporated Milk is delicious milk that is carefully formulated to retain its creaminess and great taste.
Even hubby loves the creamy taste.
So creamy.
So good.
Give your kids winning energy. Milo Active Go. With the goodness of malts, milk, and cocoa, helps them make the most of every day. Milo, the energy to go further.
That's not a big deal. This is a big deal.
Get the year's biggest deals at the Jumia Black Friday sale. Jumia. Every day is Black Friday.
Can I help you, sir?
Yes, madam. Please, what type of Mocha mattress can ease this my backache? I am too young for all these aches and pains.
And how old are you, sir?
I'm just 40.
Daddy, please come with me. This is the Mocha for you. I know you feel young at heart, but as you grow older, your body needs that extra support. The Mocha Wellbeing range of orthopedic mattresses, cradle yoga, and pressure points, giving you the comfort you need.
Thanks for staying with us. So one of the first stories we're going to talk about today is the Nigerian lady who was wrongly accused in Ivory Coast. The story is a bit sketchy. However, we heard that the lady died after contracting an infection while she was in prison. We would like to hear your thoughts on it. I think it was actually Côte d'Ivoire, right?
Yeah, Côte d'Ivoire.
Yeah. So join us on the show. You can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. You can also send us messages on YouTube. For those of you that have no idea what happened, this young girl had initially accused someone of stealing from her store. Then, after the report, we now found that the person who she accused was related to a police officer, the DPO. Yeah. Now, so unfortunately, the investigation was never carried out on the case. But she was then whipped up to be a trafficker.
Okay,
I think she was arrested.
So what happened was she reported the case to the police, and then the DPO said that this person who did this to you, who boggled in and stole about 300,000 worth of goods, is my nephew. Yes. So please, let's settle this out of court or police. And they offered her 100,000. She refused.
Yes, exactly.
So she was now wrongly accused of trafficking and was sent to 10 years imprisonment. Framed for that.
Yes. The DPO threatened her to take the money or she will see. Or she will will deal with her. And she decided to face him. So she went and did a counteraction for a supposed value of what was stolen from her because she could identify who boggled her shop. Yeah, and then he framed her up for human trafficking. This story was uncovered by a journalist, and it was reported. By that time, she had been sentenced for that offense that she was framed up for.
10 years.
And then that journalist then broke it outside. Yeah. They did everything. The matter is on appeal.
So the matter was taken to NIPCOM, that's the Nigerian Diaspora Commission. Yeah. And it was taken up according to them. And they were following up with the case. But at some point, she fell sick, and then suddenly she died. Now, we on the phone now, I'm told we have Honorable Abike Dabiri-Erewa, who will be giving us some kind of an update on, enlighten us exactly what happened, because we are worried about the time frame between when she was accused and thrown in jail and to the time when she died. If anything, if NIPCON actually did any work to get her out. Good morning, madam. Are you there? Hello, Honorable Abike Dabiri, are you there? Okay, I think we're still trying to connect with her. But that's the concern of Nigerians.
Yeah.
I mean, I know that the reporter Hundeyin that brought this out was quite worried that it was as though she was abandoned for almost 8 months. There was no report that we have no idea what was going on with her case, who the defense lawyer was, how far the case had come. All that was still not clear until the point of where she died. Although the press release released by the Abike Dabiri's office was saying that they actually paid for her health services and they paid for her legal services also. So, according to that press release, they were in contact with her and were involved with her. But how she fell sick to the point of death, and they even used the word diabetes in the press release. So, at what time was she diagnosed with diabetes, and what was done about that? So that's really the concerns we would like to ask. Because I'm told that we have Honorable, she's on the phone now. Hello, madam, are you there? Honorable Abike Dabiri, are you there?
Yes, I have you.
We can hear you.
Yeah, I am. Can you hear me?
Very clearly. We can hear you now. So, can you hear me?
Yeah, but breaking, but I can cope.
Okay. So we saw your press release saying that your commission actually was following up with Itunu, that's her name, at the point of when she was put in jail and when she giving her legal services and helping her with her health care. Now, our concern, however, is that she spent 2 whole years in prison. What was NIPCON doing at that period in 2 years? How come she spent that long in prison?
Number one, NIPCON was not even in existence in 2 years ago. But secondly, she did not tell anybody, and this is the message to all of us. We got to know a few months ago through her father. Her father found a way to reach us and said, my daughter has been in jail for 2 years. So number one, we tell Nigerians that, listen, no matter what, even if you say the missions, they are not answering you, at least report to them. So the mission was not aware. But when we got to know, the father, David Udeli posted something, and we replied him. The father got in touch with us even before then. We did our own investigation, and he did knew that she was not guilty. So what we did at that point in time was that the Nigerian mission went to visit her 5 hours away, in the prison where she was, in the hinterland in Côte d'Ivoire. They went there, they saw her, had a conversation with her. Now, the next thing is she's been sentenced for 20 years, which was commuted to 10 years, for human trafficking. An offense we know she did not commit. But because the guy involved is related to the police, they just bungled the whole thing. And she didn't use her real name. She used a different name. But you see, if you do not have told anybody, or even told us, or whoever, that listen, I have this problem, I'm sure it won't even get to the stage of our going to court. So that's number one. So when we got to know a few months ago, during COVID, don't forget, there couldn't be any traveling and all that. But we got the mission to go there. The Consul General went there. They had conversation with her, decided to get a lawyer. So in the last 6 months, the Nigerian mission had paid for the service of a lawyer, which usually is not that, well, they could tell the client that you have to pay for yourself. But the ambassador even came there. The guy demanded for $4,000. They mobilized and paid him and said, listen, go on the appeal. And we're so sure we'll win the appeal. All of a sudden.
Oh, we need to get her back. Please. Are you there? It's frozen. Okay, we'll try to see if we can get her connected. We really want to hear that.
Yeah, I wanted to, maybe when she comes, I'll just, repeat the question. I wanted to ask, does it mean that we don't have data of people who live outside the country? Because I know that when other people, like foreigners, are here and something happens to them, there's always a swift response compared to what we have when we, Nigerians, go outside the country and something happens to us. Yeah. So for her to say that they were not aware, she's back. Okay, to say that they were not aware.
Let me let her finish. Hello. Yes. You are telling us, hello, madam.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yes, we lost you. What was the last thing she said?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, go ahead, please. We lost you.
I don't know where you lost me.
You said they got a lawyer for...
So what I was saying was that
they started the process for appeal.
They got the services of... Can you hear me?
Yes, at the appeal. At the appeal, yes.
Yeah, so the lawyer has actually started the process of appeal. The Nigerian mission paid the lawyer and gave the service of a lawyer. And it was like, let's conclude this appeal. Don't forget that she had been sentenced for 20 years. A case had gone on. So the next stage is an appeal. In between the appeal, you can try diplomatic intervention, but it was like, let us appeal this case. So the appeal was on. In fact, when she fell ill in prison, the lawyer went there, paid for the medical bill through the mission. 100,000 cedis. And then the next thing was for her to just come. In fact, they were also saying that while the appeal was on, she would be granted bail, which was what the lawyer was asking for. And then all of a sudden, we heard she died. So how she died from diabetes complications just like that is one way of saying that we have to demand for a full autopsy. And then the case will go on. Because even in death, she must be vindicated.
Yes.
I don't know whether I'm still on with you.
Right, we are, yes.
I can hear you. So, I was asking, because I heard you say that the matter was not brought to you till just a few months back. And I'm worried because I know that when foreigners come to our land and anything happens to them, there's this swift response from their commission and their government. Is there anything you think Nigerians can begin to do to capture their data with the commission? So that when they travel...
No, what I'm telling you is that she has felt... No, but you need to let them know that you are there and that there's a problem, you want them to intervene. If her father did not reach us, we would not know she's in prison. So that's why we say that no matter the services you say you get from the bishops, I didn't let them know. It was her father that reached out to me that like, my daughter has been in prison for 2 years. So what I'm even saying, even at the point of the quarrel with the Ivorian guy and the Ivorian police, if she had reached out to the mission, it wouldn't even get to the case of going to court. And that is my point. So how can you interpret something you don't know?
No, you
So
can't.
we got to know just a few months ago because the father looked for us. As I speak with you, I spoke to the father yesterday. And what we want to do is just get our cops back and, you know, let him bury his daughter. It's a very sad thing. So, and I'm saying one of the lessons here is, wherever you are, if there's a problem, go to the bishop. Come back and say, oh, they didn't answer us. We treat our many mails every day here, through our email, petitions, and everything. And we try as much to give response. There's a limit we can go. You know, there are some things that is really at the level of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. But as far as MidCom mandate is concerned, we do all we can. So I'm saying that if Tunu got in touch with us 2 years ago, even when I was SSA diaspora, she would not be in that situation.
All right, let me quickly go on.
She was already in prison. She had gone to court. The case she had been sentenced before this case of appeal.
All right, let me go on.
The government has paid for a lawyer.
Yes.
Let me go on a quick break, madam. I'll be right back. We still have a lot of questions for you. Hold on, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
I remember then when they asked me, oh, what do you want to do in future? I always say I want to be a newscaster.
There are a lot of times I've told Trust that I don't believe you can't see.
Trust is always ready to do something extra. He's always coming out to say, can I do a bit more?
My mind was, where would this stop? How can I be going with a blind child from this age? How will I cope? He will always come to me, Mommy, I know I can't see, but don't bother, Mommy.
My wife now said, let him just go to village and relax. As they were going, they had accident. And the one that Trust was following, I lost the boy in the accident. When the scholarship came, it's as if they put water on a dry pot. That's how our joy was bubbling. If not, I don't know whether Trust could have graduated with his colleagues.
Life is a journey. You have to make that journey work.
Ike, you are jogging? Since when?
New Freshio, a good source of vitamins A, B6, B12, D, and zinc that keeps you active and refreshed on the go.
Ike is so lively these days.
Since when?
Ike, your presentation is in 30 minutes. This is Ike's third meeting. He has been giving presentations non-stop.
You're so full of life these days, Ike. Since when?
Hey!
Party tonight?
After this long day of work, and you too, since when?
The new Freshio. Nutritious goodness every day. Grab your bottle now.
Guess what?
What?
I scored a hat trick today.
Cool! Wow! And how did you celebrate?
Just do your hands like this.
And hold your nose like this?
Body odor is caused by germs. That's why you need the new improved Dettol Cool Soap, which protects against 99.9% odor-causing germs with an extra burst of menthol freshness. Dettol, be 100% sure.
That's not a big deal. This is a big deal.
Get the year's biggest deals at the Jumia Black Friday sale. Jumia. Every day is Black Friday.
You don't wait for life. You go to meet life. It's not about how many chances you get. It's what you do with what you've got. Cup after cup. Morning after morning. Start strong. Finish strong. It all starts with a Nescafe.
My tasty jollof queen. #1 jollof chef.
When you start like this, I know it's jollof you want. My husband deserves the best jollof, and so do my kids. Yeah, ma'am. Not necessary, dear. I have all the pepper, onion, thyme, curry powder, garlic, ginger, and tomatoes I need in here. Welcome to the new way of making tasty jollof with no stress at all. All I do is pour my oil, add tasty Tom jollof mix, fry for 4 minutes, and add water, some salt and seasoning, and finally rice. And my tasty jollof is ready in only 45 minutes.
So tasty. And for my jollof queen.
Tasty Tom Jollof Mix. No stress.
More jollof.
Available in 70, 210 and 400 gram sachets that are easy to open and easy to store.
Honorable Abike, are you still there? Hello, madam, are you there? Hello? Network. I really want to ask you this question.
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. So there's a question that came for you. There was an allegation that the...
Yes, I can hear you.
Great.
I'm here.
So there was an allegation that the mission tried to extort money from Itunu. Could you clarify if indeed that happened? Are you there? Honorable Abike, are you there? Hello? Okay, we'll try to. Maybe we really need her to answer that question.
So
you can do an audio. If
Go ahead.
Looking at this also, I'm wondering what is the stand of the Côte d'Ivoire government about this whole thing. So let's assume that, yes, she's in court while waiting her appeal. Some have to be detained pending their appeal. Some people get bail pending their appeal. But the government, in their own, what they call it, language, body language, how do they feel about this, and how does it affect their relations with us as a nation? What image is our own government giving about Nigerian lives being framed and, taken or, abused like this? Because I want to believe that she wasn't kept in the best of conditions in the prisons. Yeah. I want to believe that. I believe that such a detainee, let me not use convict now, such a detainee, because of international and, some of such relations, the government of such countries will keep them in a very, because I know Nigeria does that, in a very good condition such that there are people this person is a sacred detainee, nothing must happen to them, that kind of relations. So not to the extent that, you know, she's now falling ill to the extent of in such a suspicious way, and she dies in their detention. And all right, how do they feel about this? What are we going to do?
Hello, madam, are you there? I'm really trying to, maybe we should just call her on the phone. Yeah. Hello, can you hear us?
An audio.
Hello, madam. Hello, can you hear us? I think we should just call her on the phone. So maybe that would be better, so that we can have a conversation, because it's important we get answers to them these questions. All right, I'm going to say something.
Yeah, so for me, when I came here, I definitely had a lot of questions. I had questions about how someone would be detained and had reached out to the commission, and it took them 2 years to even do anything until she passed. So it was very important, you know, that the Honorable has come to clarify how long or when they were finally contacted, and it's just been months before. So it's important for us Nigerians to understand, like when we're in other countries, we need to make our presence known. We need to know who to go to when things have gone wrong for us in different countries. I really feel so sad that that young lady had to die. But as Nima has said, we have to take a stance, and we need to show body language that this is unacceptable. She is passed, unfortunately, but for other Nigerians in different countries. And, you know, when it comes to Nigerians being maltreated in African countries, it really annoys me. Like, well, the same people, you know, when we hear of it happening in Asia, we may blame it on race, but you need to be able to give us, you know, some sort of grace as an African country. So even if you have a Nigerian in your prisons, reach out to our commission or reach out, you know, to our mission there and see, you know, that there's a response from our own country. If they did that and our own country did not respond, then that's a different thing. But to have African countries, it almost seems like, you know, there's a disrespect with the Nigerians in different African countries, and we need to, you know, going forward, we really need to make it known that we would not take things like that, and that there has to be a due process when a Nigerian is found with or accused of anything abroad, that there is a procedure, we have a mission before you go about locking them up unjustly. And then when it's time to get to the courts as well, I guess because we're a co-African country, there has to be a process, you know, that it's sort of a bit, what's the word now I'm trying to use?
Cordial?
Yes, a cordial relationship that allows for a court process, you know, or allows her to get bail while this is going on.
We understand that every country is a sovereign country, and they have their own laws that guide their interactions in their country, but you'd expect that the crime she was convicted of and detained would have been settled if proper investigations was done. So because investigation later showed that she was framed
almost immediately.
So almost immediately.
It means that there was proper investigation.
Exactly. That's
let me go on a break, because I was still trying to connect her. I'll just rather phone her in. Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, hopefully we'll have the Honorable Abike on the phone to speak with us. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàdé. àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ kú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you're gonna say it?
ọkọ tí wàá sọ nìyẹn.
Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ àyà mi ti sọ kí.
Torí kí ni?
àkọ́yẹ́ kọ́ mọ tó jẹ́rẹ̀ ẹ̀mí lẹ́kùnmọ́ yọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkéyọ̀ mọ́ tó mọ́ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
At TVC Communications, we're all about our audience. Millions of viewers, listeners, and readers every day all around Nigeria.
Our 2 TV stations are among the most watched in Nigeria.
TVC News is our award-winning 24-hour national and international news channel headquartered here in Lagos, broadcasting live from our custom-built state-of-the-art news headquarters.
TVC, the top-rated family entertainment channel, is the place for fun, music, and information. With our breakfast show, Wake Up Nigeria, the all-female chat show, Your View, the best soaps and dramas from Nolly, Bali, and Hollywood, music and entertainment blast, courtesy E-Flash, and of course, award-winning news and current affairs. It is all here.
With news bureau and studios around the country and the ability to go live anywhere, anytime, we are first for breaking news in Nigeria. Awarded the NMMA TV Station of the Year, TVC News is the station of choice for news that is first, accurate, balanced, and reliable every time. TVC and TVC News watched by over 4.5 million people in Nigeria every day on terrestrial, DTH, DTT, OTT, and available to viewers in the UK on Sky TV. Watch all of our world-class programs on TV, online, and on our app. TVC and TVC News, the best entertainment and news for Nigeria on TV and online.
And when you can't watch us, listen to us. 102.3 Max FM Lagos and 90.9 Max FM Abuja are now ranked among the most listened to radio stations in Nigeria.
Now, with over 1.5 million listeners every day, we're the people's favorite radio station. Best hit music, best on-air talent. Max 102.3 hit music for Lagos and Max 90.9 hit music for Abuja. We are your home.
Hello, madam. Thanks for staying with us. So, Honorable Abike Dabiri, are you still there with us?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. So there are 2 key questions that came out. I'll ask one. I think Nima will ask the other one. Part of the article from David Hundeyin is that someone in the missions accused someone in the missions of extorting money from Itunu's father to bring her back to Nigeria, to bring her corpse back to Nigeria. Is that true?
Well, I spoke with Itunu's father yesterday. Even if it's a personal responsibility, I will handle it. So we're already communicating with him. We'll work with him to bring out his. I don't know his conversation with the mission, but I really, but I spoke with him. I told him we'll work together and bring it back. So I can't confirm what today he said, but in fact, this is the father's letter. I have it in my bag. You can bring it from my bag, where he wrote us saying that when he reported to us, federal government intervened, and that is not envelope, and that he's asking us to look at it here. Second paragraph. My daughter was charged with human trafficking and sentenced to 20 years in prison, despite having no proper legal representation. I raised my daughter's cry to the federal government, and considerable steps were being taken to clear my daughter of the crime she was accused of. So what he's just asking for now, he says she was poorly, looked into, and that is why we've involved Interpol. Whereas with this letter, we're getting the Interpol involved. Some lawyers have approached me, that they approached the ECOWAS court. I support that fully. And we have demanded a full autopsy. So it's not a case we're going to lie low. So as far as the father is concerned, we will work with him to bring the corpse back. And I've given him that assurance, no matter what it takes.
But if indeed somebody is extorting money from him, would you be able to bring that to book also?
But I can't guarantee that anybody said that. But I would ask him. But you see, there was time David reported that they wanted to extort money from her. When I asked the mission, what they said that time was, when this came to light, it was like, lawyer will be needed. How much do you have as a family? That was it. Okay, now $4,000 is what the lawyer has demanded. Now they just asked them that, what do you have as a family? And that's what the father told me.
Okay.
What you have to pay, what you have to contribute. Actually, he has nothing. It was at that case, we said, ensure the money is raised and start the case. Now, even if it means personal intervention, it's not a big deal. It's what we have all done, one time or the other. And that had been sorted. The lawyer had started engaging, the lawyer had gone to court. In fact, the lawyer wanted the case taken from Abidjan, from the hinterland to Abidjan, because it would be easier for everybody. And then she died.
So,
and the lawyer has been paid.
Okay.
Honorable, what is the government of Cote d'Ivoire? What is their stance in terms of our international relations with them? What is their stance about this that has happened to this Nigerian? And what is the stand of our Ministry of Foreign Affairs as well?
No, the Minister of Foreign Affairs needs to now communicate with his counterparts in Cote d'Ivoire. On our own part here, we're having a meeting with the ambassador here, because he's representing. But the next stage is, after all this, the Minister of Foreign Affairs will have to now take a policy decision on behalf of the Nigerian government. We don't have that power as a commission. We're just a power seated under the ministry. So for me now, I have to ensure that the body is brought back, that she gets a befitting burial, and then we'll see how we can support the father. But in terms of policy, that rests on the table of the Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs on the next step to take as a country, Cote d'Ivoire.
Okay, ma'am, I would like to know, going forward, what we can do better, what we can do to stop, to protect our citizens when they are outside the country, and also to, reduce the impact of, fake policing, framing of Nigerians when they live outside, when they are found in other countries. What can we do better as a country? I understand that, yes, she would have reported her stay in that place. She should have reached out to the mission. But in the case where a Nigerian is unable to reach out to the mission, if they are found in a police station, the country involved, is there no agreement that they reach out to our mission to say, we have a Nigerian here, and this is what is happening to the Nigerians so far?
Well, that is if the mission gets to know. Like I said, in this particular case, they were not even in the picture. And we got into the picture a few months ago, and like I said, yeah, David posted something, but the father reached out to us. So I think what we need to do better is, number one, reach out to the missions. Okay, if you document the father, we reach out to them, they did nothing. Is another matter.
I'm not sure you got a question. Honorable Abike Dabiri, I'm not sure you got a question. Honorable Abike, she was saying that the police should have contacted the mission on her behalf, that we have one of your citizens, this is what they're accusing her for. Shouldn't that, is there a policy that demands that should have been done?
That's what I'm saying. I've told you now that we have taken this case to Interpol. The police themselves were involved in this matter.
Right.
The guy is a nephew of the police man. So do you think, let's face it now, the Ivorian police will not go to the Nigerian mission? No. When they were also implicated.
Yeah. Right.
And they know that in this appeal, she will be vindicated. So who knows what happened to her? That's what I'm saying. We need to know what happened to her. Let's be realistic now. The police that is involved, being accused, will now go to the mission and say what you know now.
Right. That's true.
Also, when you say one is, no matter how, particularly students, let them know that when this incident happened, if it had gone to the mission, or even to the Diaspora Commission, like I said, I don't know when it exists 2 years ago, we would have been able to advise and guide and intervene, even with the Cote d'Ivoire ambassador here. They would have gone to that level of it. And then, she used a different name. And that's where they now roped her with human trafficking. She didn't use her real name. She used a different name. And that is where I think the human trafficking came in. And I think she used a different name. Maybe she was afraid, or her legal status was not, legit or something. Right, I don't know. Right. But it was using the illegal, another name that they now just changed it into human trafficking.
Okay, we have to wrap up. But let's
work with even if you don't get a positive response, go there, document it. There's a Minister of Foreign Affairs that deals with issues. Secondly is that we have to stop stereotyping ourselves. Fine, a few Nigerians behave badly, but that doesn't mean, we're all the same. So we need to work at stopping that stereotype. Right. One bad apple cannot spoil the whole bunch. And thirdly is the fact that we need to, as you said, to know when to go to in search of a better life.
Okay.
And see what has happened.
Final question,
so we
madam.
Need to ensure that we are not going about unnecessarily. That's a whole.
Let me get one last question. Let me get one last question for you, guys.
I know that there are rules of engagement, when it comes to foreign affairs, especially with ECOWAS countries. Now that it's obvious that this country has goofed, is there any sanction that will be given to them?
Like I said, that's in the purview of the Minister of Foreign Affairs. We can recommend, but we can't, and we're going to write officially. The commission will write the minister officially and put our thoughts, but we cannot take that decision.
Can we ask you what you are recommending?
That will be the minister, Mr. Onyema.
Honorable Abikadabi, can we ask you can you give us a snip bit of what you'll be recommending?
It's not for you. Well, no. I just want justice for it today. I can't really go into all that.
Right.
Like I said, it's actually the minister's purview.
Right.
So,
okay, I'll let you go.
Me to say what I know that I'm not capable of handling.
I'll let you go at this point. Thank you so much, Honorable Abikadabi, for joining us this morning, for clarifying this issue. And our hearts go out to the family of Itunu. May her soul rest in peace. And we also appeal to Nigerians living abroad. It's not when something happens. Just know where the mission is, know where the consulate, just know where they are. Have a number, have somebody, have a website, just have somewhere to call or tell family. If anything happens, your child living abroad, something happens, just inform the Nigerian Commission in that state. Yes, sir, you're going to say something, final word, Honorable Abikadabi?
No, you can't. admin@nidcom.gov.ng. There are some cases we can solve, there are some we cannot solve. Like somebody just emailed me from China yesterday. He actually committed a crime, so he's in prison for drugs. I can't get him out. But there are cases where, like it's a news case, if we had done at that time, it would not have happened. So email us at admin@nidcom.gov.ng. As I told you, even just 2 days ago, Nigeria has been attacked in the UK and killed, a knife attack. We're in touch with the mission, we're in touch with the family, and the 2 people have been arrested. So, all these things don't have to be in the public domain. But you now have a diaspora commission. Like I said, some things we can do, some we can, but reach us and we'll see what we can do, working with our missions approach. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's all we can take. And one thing she said also that I thought was important is that even if your family doesn't have the money, the commission will step up to support you. So don't be afraid to ask or to ask for help, because many Nigerians abroad always feel like, what will I do? I can't afford a lawyer. But the commission can support you to some extent based on what they say.
That's why it's important that you have your papers, you go into different countries legally.
Right, right.
Those are the things too.
That's all we can take on that segment. When we come back, move on to other topics. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Guys, we can't leave. We've got to finish the client's order tonight.
This time?
How about some top tea to cheer us up?
Only one bag of top tea makes 2 strong cups, so taste to know more flavor, enjoyment, friendship, and upliftment.
Wow, this looks gorgeous. Beautiful.
Taste to know. Top tea.
Good morning, Queen.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup.
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup.
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup.
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup.
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup.
Check.
Are the scripts on the prompter? Script.
Check.
Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR.
Check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known, for when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be stirring up our guests to get an in-depth into all the various topics, and you, our viewers, will have the opportunity to call in and share your views. After all, it's your view. Join us on Your View, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for a fantastic conversation. Don't miss it. Come closer. A little bit more. Perfect. I have exciting news for you. You asked for it and you got it. Your favorite breakfast show, Your View, will be going to 2 hours. We're going to have in-depth analysis of the newspaper review and more conversations on the hot topics. The ladies of Your View and I will be... Thanks for staying with us. So another major hot topic has been a video trending on social media about the brutality of students of the Naval NNSS. I'll get the full, I think it's the Naval
Nigerian
Navy Secondary School in Abeokuta. According to reports, what the students are going through in the hands of the naval rating Sub-Lieutenant Roland Okoji, who pummeled the then SS3 student, is alarming. It's alleged that the commander did nothing about it and has come out to discredit the video. Now, I would like to hear your thoughts on this, because this person has been alleged to have done this. We're not sure because we don't have the confirmation yet from the school. We're trying very hard to contact someone from the school. But what are your thoughts on how the naval students have been disciplined? What are your thoughts on especially the brutality this student go through? I mean, I saw the marks, and it was quite disheartening and appalling to see. What are your thoughts on this? You can call us on 081-2705-3687, 091-390-76948. You can also send us messages on Facebook and YouTube. We'll be happy to read your messages. I'm not sure if our producer will be showing the videos, but it's been nice for us to see let Nigerians see what we saw. But what are your thoughts? I know somebody here went to Naval. I think you, wasn't you? Went to command. You went to command. I think it was Jumoke that went to Navy, I think.
Jumoke went to Nigerian Navy.
Nigerian Navy, yes.
Alakija, the one
so, these are some of the experiences we've heard about. I mean, I'd like you to share some of your experience in command.
So this kind of treatments were normal. You had students who some parents who even come, because we had officers' children and we had civilians' children, and there was a class. So yes, if your father is a level below WO2, you're a normal, you're a soldier picking. But if you're an officer speaking, your father is of the major captain level, they know better than to touch you anyhow. Then if you're a civilian's child, I remember one day, they were beating us. And the head of admin officer then, admin officer one, because we became a joke in my set, stopped all the students and they asked you, what's your surname? Officer, Major General, something. Everybody called their fathers. And when they got to out of confusion, I just said, civilian, because the beating that would have followed. And he found it funny. Now looked at me. I was so short back in secondary school. He looked at me and said, civilian, get out. That was how I was saved. But there was this level of, treatment that they considered discipline. In fact, my own school, the motto was knowledge and discipline. And so it excused some kind of thing. But there were lots of things that happened then that seemed unfair because they will tell you obey before complain. Yes. While you're trying to explain that I am not among, once they just group all of you, you cannot explain. You will suffer the consequence first. Go home, tell your parents. If your parents are Ijogbon people, they can come the next day. Or you get it, you forget about it and you move on. Okay. You know, so such treatments were popular within schools. But today, we have social media, we have all these things, and it shouldn't be allowed. If we could take Kwara State and the Ilekeo, where one person could describe himself as law officer, everything, and channel anger and abuse of a child, batter a child in such a way, we cannot now excuse this as part of discipline.
All right, let me show this video to our viewers. Viewer discretion is advised because it wasn't something that was really interesting to watch. But please watch this clip if you can.
For this school, so to the suffer. Shirts. Now person back with this so.
Tomorrow no more. If you die today, you die no more.
Now person back with this so. Now person back oh. Come see person back oh. Now person back oh. Most wanted. Most wanted. Most wanted. NDA. See where to the suffer for this school. See where to the suffer oh.
So those were the pictures that were going around social media, and I know that our producer tried to contact somebody from the NNSS. I think we'll be speaking to somebody very soon, hopefully, because according to them, the issue has been resolved, I believe. But although the issue has been resolved, the issue is this route of discipline. We know it happened in the past. Many of us grew up and heard about these stories. Thank God I didn't go through it.
Some of us lived through it.
Some of us lived through it. But we're saying, do we still need to do this today?
Morayo,
So, okay, go ahead. Yeah,
you know, with military schools, parents, at least during my time, when we were growing up, we know that parents used to specifically want to put their children in military schools because they expected there was going to be a level of discipline to help shape a child. And sometimes even like the harder, children that were tougher at home or, tougher to handle at home were usually shipped off to military schools because, it was assumed that the discipline there would, help mold them into better individuals. And what I used to think was that, is the waking up, making your bed, time to do this and time to do that, not flogging. And then, when you now have cousins, friends who now go to military school, I know many stories. There was one person I know that limps till today because of the way he was beaten in military school. I know people who have told me classmates have died in their cells because they were beaten and locked up, no food, no water, because of, being in military school. And sometimes even the intervention of the parent makes it worse for that child. So usually when a parent now finally comes, they come to take that child out of that school because usually by the time the parents leave, it's like, how dare you? There was one time, a long time ago, when we were much younger, I remember some students had run away from Command Secondary School then in Jos. And they came and they hid in the compounds and houses on that street. See the hefty, angry-looking military men that were running after them with thick rods, you know. And, you know, we have this Nigerian culture of where beating is not bad. It's a way to mold a child. And now we are taking beating to the point that we're almost killing children, in some cases killing children. We need to understand that discipline can be given in such a way that it would mold a character, and that beating can also damage a child, damage a country, damage, you know, our whole society. Imagine that sort of child growing up to become a teacher someday. What's the difference? He will even do it better than what has been done to him, because for him that's normal. That's the way to go. We need to change our mindset concerning discipline. We can discipline without assaulting our children.
Let me take this call from Kaduna. Lillian, are you there?
Yes, I'm still already.
You're live. Go ahead. Good morning.
Okay, my view on this is there is a difference between wickedness and discipline.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
The video I just saw now is wickedness, not discipline. Hello?
We can hear you very clearly, Lillian. Go ahead, please.
Hello, right?
Yes, we can hear you, Lillian. Oh, she said that's wickedness. I mean, those marks, obviously.
Even in law, you're not even allowed to treat a criminal like this. You're not allowed. They protect criminals from being tortured, because even though you're a criminal, till the court proves
innocent till proven guilty.
Till you're proven guilty, and even at that, you will be sent to jail. You will be given projects that would help you reform yourself, not physical beating. This is obviously damage and not discipline. We need to separate the two. We always wonder why we are the way we are, why we act the way we act. We have seen over the years that this sort of treatment hasn't worked for us as a country. Nigerians are naturally angry people. You're in traffic, everybody's shouting and spitting at each other. Any little confrontation, they are throwing blows. We haven't learned the art of communicating with each other. And that is what we are teaching these young ones, that everything ends in violence. So if you commit a crime, I punch you instead of having a conversation with you. If you get me upset, I slap you instead of having a conversation with you. Education has gone beyond, we are the Navy, we are the Army, we want to show discipline. There are other ways of showing discipline. You know, back in the days, the emotional needs of a child was not included in the curriculum. It was just about you come, read, and write, and then go out and, you know. But even when we paid attention to character, you have to learn to make your bed, you have to learn to sweep, you have to learn to greet and all of that. The emotional needs are still lacking, and it has affected us as a society. So we need to be truthful to ourselves. What are we doing to these children under our care? Are we caring for their emotional needs? Are we caring for empathy? Children who have been beaten, dealt with, they don't have empathy. It takes a lot. As adults, a lot of people are walking around with baggages. I always say it here. We are constant work in progress, because we are becoming aware to see that this is not how to do things. And then we're still raising another generation in the same way. The battle is too much now.
Okay, let me take this call from Rosemary from Port Harcourt. Rosemary, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yes, I'm a first-time caller.
Welcome to the show.
Yes, honestly, I'm angry. I'm speaking from a mother's perspective. Like, seriously, I will not take that from any instructor, from any teacher. And by the way, I'm a soldier. But I will never allow my child to go to a military school. And even if my child does, I will never take that from any teacher. This is barbaric. This is uncalled for. It is absolutely uncalled for. I want to beg you people to make sure this goes viral, so that the every instructor or teacher will be brought to book.
Rosemary, let me stay with you for a minute. Since you're a soldier, I would assume, yes, because I mean, I've watched movies like G.I. Jane and G.I. Joe and all this other. We see intense discipline and physical, training that they undergo. And you think because these children go to this naval school, so they have been exposed to this sort of discipline. Could you give us an idea of how your training was, and was this part of what you went through as a soldier?
As a soldier, you are meant to undergo some form of training. These trainings are meant to make you, stand out in case you are caught by the enemy at any time. So you'll be able to withstand tortures and all that. But I'm telling you authoritatively today that whatever training I've undergone are not meant for my children to undergo, except they have decided to go into the military. Going to a military school is not making them...
Oh, sugar.
There's a difference between going to a military school and going into the military.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
Most of our parents, I remember my dad then just wanted a better school, a unity school. So we wrote the exam for the Nigerian Air Force Academy in Jos. My elder sister wrote all the exams, and I was just, lucky to write this one exam and made it. And so they said, okay, go to secondary school and we're in the same class. And it was about a unity standard education, considering the environment where we're living then. My very first day in school, one officer, good luck, beat me.
Bad luck me.
Beat me sote, I did not get. I went home and said to my dad, I need to leave that school. I can't cope there. He said, for my children, it's you that I will not withdraw. Because we need to balance you. So maybe that's where you need somewhere that you'll be on your feet, you'll be fast, you'll be at speed. Yes, I grew up. I'm at speed now, I'm fast and everything, but there were too many abuses. I always query why parents can't listen to children. And when I sit with some of my classmates from secondary school, when they conclude on something, they don't listen. Because we were made to obey before complain.
People from those schools are very stubborn. I have
obey before complain. And there were a lot of things they did that were clear discipline. In my school then, I remembered when WAEC had one issue and said there was a malpractice issue. The commandant at the time said, lie, it's not in my school. So all the students were made to write their exams because there was a leaked paper. In the open parade ground, our parade ground is as wide as a field made of granite. Every SS3 student then were spaced out. So those are some of the discipline that you were not allowed to be caught at a bad behavior. Certain vices were not allowed. You will be dealt with. So we knew better. We grew up better. But there were some excessive abuses by maybe teachers or officers of the school.
Right.
And we knew those officers who were constantly abusing us.
Right.
Who were not allowed.
Let me take this call and I'll come to Mariam. Uchenna, are you there? Oof. You're live. Go ahead, please, Uchenna. I can hear you.
What we are seeing on your screen is not encouraging at all. More so, if you would, are you hearing me?
Yes. Very clearly, sir.
I say what we are seeing on television is not encouraging for a modern society like ours. And what is there again is that if you try to investigate what happened there, it's actually what is going on took place there. You'll be surprised to find out that the person involved must have been a kind of a poor person.
Poor person.
And because you go to those schools, especially military institutions, you find out there are students from a military background and others from civilian background. There is every likelihood that the child involved there is from a civilian background. Right from the day one, when they conduct the exam, there is special treatment given to the students from a military background. They are given their papers.
Thank you, Uchenna. So that's probably,
because I remember when I went for the interview for Air Force girls then at secondary school in Jos, I think they've changed the name. And the first day we got there, they asked us to stand at attention for hours. I remember because it was daylight when we started and it was evening when they finally let us leave. And they said, don't move. If a fly touch you, don't touch. If you blah, blah. And then they will now say that obey before complain. It was in that place that I learned it. Obey before complain. When we say go, go. And then you wake up when they wake you up. And then they come in and find that you have not gotten up. This is interview. I'm not talking of when you're in the school. Whip you, you get up, you run to the to go and eat. Standing to eat because the next thing you have to go and run. Double. Now that was just interview. So imagine what these people now go through as students. And you know what is sad is that these students now do it to each other. So a junior waits for when they become a senior and then they do it to each other. My brother went to Command Secondary School and I remember one time he came home. My mom had to go and pick him up because he had his hand and had to have his hand in a sling. Do you know what just recently he said to us, was a senior that beat me. He dared not tell us what happened. He just said he fell. I remember my mom kept looking to tell me. He was like, no, I just felt. It was as an adult that he was able to tell us how a senior beat him so badly he broke his arm. So that's the thing. We are teaching them that we're growing and grooming our children to be violent towards each other. Yes. And then tomorrow we're wondering why
things are not changing.
So when we take our own children to school, you do not now take them to a military school, but they've been groomed to be violent. And you're wondering why a teacher will just slap your child because that is where it started.
I said here that for you to be a teacher, you must undergo a certain form, no matter how little, of child psychology. Because behavior correcting is not physical, it's a mental process. Your behavior is from your head, it's from your mind. And when you want a child to correct that behavior, you need to find the root cause of that behavior and walk that child through certain things from the mind. It's a mind change. It's something you need to start changing patterns. And you can achieve discipline by not just flogging. You can achieve discipline by giving some certain form of punishment. By, okay, I remember growing up in secondary school, they would say, okay, clear this amount of grass. Some parents even complained at the time. Clear this amount of grass, or you are sweeping community service, you're sweeping the classrooms for the whole term. You're, a form of community service so that when these children grow up, they understand that, okay, if somebody is erring and we need to correct this behavior, we swap the behavior. It's not by killing and beating up a child that will make that child change. So what happens is you just obey, and when you're not there, you commit even worse crime than when you're there.
I have to wrap up, but it seems like you want to say something very quickly. 2 seconds.
So cutting grass is not an alternative.
I know, but at least...
it's always about that listening. You see that obey before complain. I think that all military schools, because I'm one, I graduated from one, should be taken out of. We had classmates who were coming from Yanokwaja those days to Ojo, where I schooled. And they'll be stuck in traffic. They did not form by their own. They get to school past 8. They will not resume class till 1 p.m.
No, that one is extreme.
They were cutting grass. It was the discipline for late coming. Because nobody would believe that they were stuck in traffic. They will say to them, if you leave
in no Google to verify.
Leave home 4 a.m. I left home 6 a.m. because there was no form of transport from Ojo there.
Okay, I have to wrap up. We have to run on this name. I'm sorry, we have to pause this conversation because I know this is something that hurts all of us. Seeing another student, a child go through this is totally deplorable. But I think it's a conversation we have to wrap up because we have another segment of the show. But we're going to still continue because I know our producers did try to contact somebody from the school to give us a comment. They refused to comment on this because according to them, it's been resolved. But we'll still continue the conversation because we have to change that obey before command. I want to change the mode of discipline. Children in these schools on the go. It's really important. That has to change. If there's anything that your view should do, is but we must ensure that those policies change as soon as possible.
Parents who don't normalize beating.
All right, let's go on a break. Remember, it's Tuesday. We can't but have a health topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Showing up in style inspires great confidence. IVM G5T appeals to class.
Time is of the essence. With IVM Kappa, business and meetings are always on the go.
Fun time with the family. Thank you to IVM Kingdom. IVM Kara is always stealing the show. Isn't she beautiful? Influence defines a great leader. IVM Seriki is Africa's commute king. Strong, reliable, and durable. With the concept of regionalization, Innocent Vehicle is committed to satisfying its customers with producing their everyday dream cars.
IVM, pride of African roots.
The north is so beautiful. And the food, it's nothing like I have ever tasted before. The color,
vibrant. What about the aroma?
The aroma, oh gosh. It smells just like this one.
This smells so good.
Yeah. Your Dambo Shinkafa tastes even better. How did you do it?
Onga seasoning. It's all the seasoning you need for great taste and aroma.
Onga, Mama's helping hand.
As a business owner, there is no such thing as work-life balance. You are constantly working even when you shouldn't.
I need a great team.
Yes, you do. And Jobberman can help you find the perfect fit so your business can grow bigger and better. Jobberman is the recruitment partner you need to take your business to the next level. Go to www.jobberman.com/employer/hire-better today.
How to make a perfect bowl of love? A perfect blend.
Home is where I truly first. And first fountain court gets that.
Begin the journey to build your bespoke home today. First Fountain Court, a perfect home for you.
Thanks for staying with us. So every 14th of November is celebrated as World Diabetes Day. On the show today, we'll be commemorating the day with Dr. Modi Meriviani Kobimdi. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
I like your name. It's very different. Could you tell us about your name very quickly in 2 seconds? What does it mean?
Modi. The Modi, there is spirit. It means there is spirit.
Okay.
And Kobimdi is I reflect my heart. I behave the way my heart.
Oh,
I love
very
it. It's a
sweet.
beautiful name.
Nice, nice.
Amazing.
Okay, so diabetes is today's World Diabetes Day, and on 14th, yes, and over the world, people talk and remember this day because the truth is that it's a disease that many people go through. Could you tell us a bit about diabetes? How far we've gone with research? Where are we with the work on diabetes, and is this something that is curable as of today?
Okay, thank you. Diabetes mainly we know is a disease that is caused by inability of the body to use the insulin produced by the body itself to take care of the sugar that we eat. Okay, insulin is a hormone basically that is produced in the pancreas. Pancreas is found around the abdomen.
Right.
Is my voice okay?
No, it's okay. You're good. You're perfect.
So it's produced by the pancreas.
Right.
The work of the insulin is to transport the sugar we eat. After we've eaten, the food digests. Digestion is converting everything we eat to
energy,
to glucose.
Yes.
Then removing the undigested food. That's the unwanted food. So when the food is converted to glucose, the use of the glucose mainly is for our daily activities.
Exactly.
It's the fuel we use, exactly, thank you, ma'am, for our daily activities. So as sugar in bloodstream is supposed to be stored in the cells, in some part of the cells, that's the work of insulin. Insulin makes sure that the sugar the glucose gets to the cells to be stored or to be used. That's the work of insulin, basically. So in the case of a diabetic patient, either the body is not producing enough insulin, or the body is not producing at all, or the body cells are resistant to this to the action of insulin.
So is that where the type A,
type 1, type 2 comes in? So in the case of type 1, the body is not producing at all. That's why we call type 1 an insulin-independent diabetes. Because the pancreas is not producing at all. But in the case of type 2, either it's not producing enough, or the cells, like I said before, are resistant to it. They are not accepting its action.
So go ahead.
So that's why in treatment we have some people who they say would need insulin injections, and then some people are advised to change their nutrition.
And they give them other medications that will help the cells to accept the action of insulin, or medications that will reduce the production, that will reduce the breakdown of excess
sugar.
the breakdown of carbohydrates.
Yes. Okay, so my question is, towards the World Diabetes Day, we've been getting numbers, and it seems like in Africa, the number of people with diabetes is just on the rise. And a lot of the times, they mentioned that, one, many Africans are living with this condition without realizing that they do have it. And secondly, our nutrition. So is there something particularly about our food and our health care that makes us unaware that we have this, and our food that makes us more susceptible to diabetes?
Okay, now, from your question, our food is more of carbohydrates. Our akpu, our gari, as in our yam,
rice,
basically rice, potato, and all that. Almost everything we consume is carbohydrates. And like I was telling a friend the other day, in the olden days, we don't have diabetes like we have it before. Because then we don't have vehicles. Most of the time, they consume and walk. They do farm work, they do all tedious work. All these things consume a lot of energy. But nowadays, we do mainly white-collar job, and most times we jump from one bus to the other. From one, there's no bus, there's marijuana, tricycle, there's bike. So we don't really burn off all those sugar like it used to be. In the case that some persons have diabetes, they don't know. It's true. Some persons, in the early stage of diabetes, they may not even know, because either they are ignoring the symptoms, they think it's something else, or the symptoms have not really certain.
Okay.
What are some of those symptoms?
Okay. Sorry, I want to say something.
Go ahead.
An eye doctor.
Yes.
Some persons come to the clinic, they don't even know they have diabetes. When you check their eyes, you'll not tell them, when was the last time you checked? Some of them will even argue with you. I don't have diabetes, I don't have sugar. You know, okay, let me check your sugar level. When they permit you, you do it, and you see that the sugar is on high. So the symptoms, basically, the number one symptom is frequent urination.
Okay.
In 1 minute, a person can urinate like 20 times.
Wow.
Yes. Then we have hunger, extreme hunger. The person eats like something else, then tastes. Wants to drink water every minute and every second.
Right.
Blurry vision.
Vision.
The vision is not clear.
Okay. Let me go on a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue with Professor Mavdi. Stay with us, Ibrahim.
Stay tuned. Your view will be right back.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move weigh in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the PCR? All team in place? PCR check.
Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights are. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
How would
accident ní ẹ̀mílẹ́kùn ọmọ àbúrò yìí sáà.
Lọ́n ṣe mọ̀ kádàrá aláwọ̀ àkàkàjù. Àwọn kan wà tí wọ́n bá kú tọ́jọ́ ọkú wọn ò tí ì pé wọ́n á papòdà síbòmíì.
Is that how you gonna say it?
Ọkọ tí wàá sọ yẹn.
Bó ṣe wá kọ̀wé ránṣẹ́ yìí pé òun fẹ́ rí mi kájọ fojúkojú yìí kò yé èmi o.
Bó ṣe pé ẹ̀rí ẹ̀mílẹ́kùn àyà mi ti sọ kí. Torí kí ni? Àkọ́yẹ́ kó wọn fi jẹ́ ẹ̀mílẹ́kùn yọ ọmọ mú yẹn rí flashback jọ́ ìkí ọmọ tó mọ ẹgbọ́n mọ́.
Thanks for staying with us. We're still discussing diabetes. Yes, Nima had a question for the break.
I found it interesting when she said she's an eye doctor. I wanted to know what signs would you see in an eye to know that the person has diabetes.
Okay, for those that don't know they have diabetes, when you check their eyes, we have something we call microaneurysm. The blood vessels in the eyes. It doesn't just happen in the eye, it happens all over the body. The tiny blood vessels, we call them arterioles, capillaries, venous, and all that.
I know capillaries.
So the capillaries will just bulge out like you just blew a balloon. It will just bulge out. It will just be tiny like that in the eye. If you don't see that, if it has passed that stage, there will be a stage that those balloons, you know, at this time, they are very thin now. They break, they burst out, and the blood start leaking out from those eyes. So if you check that eye, at the time, either you're seeing only those balloon-like structures, or you're seeing blood in the fundus.
You see it physically, or is it inside? Or we have to use it inside the back of the eye.
So you just see blood all over the fundus.
How do you see it? You use it.
We have an
instrument to see it.
So with that, our tiny equipment, we call it ophthalmoscope. It's I would have brought them here. So with that, you just cope. That will give you an idea. You are suspecting this person is a diabetic patient, suspect at this time. So you send for confirmation, check your blood. After that, there are other tests we have to do. We would have to dilate the eye first. As in, we drop some drops so that the eye will widen up so you see everything clearly. Then we can do either fluorescein angiography.
Okay, I don't want us to go into the technical terms because
let me ask. Some people have seen that been able to beat diabetes. So I don't know which of the types they were able to beat. They will say after a few years of abstaining from and so doing more exercises, changing diets, they came out of it. So is it possible that you can beat the two types?
No, it's possible you can beat diabetes. We have type 1 diabetes, we have type 2 diabetes, we have pre-diabetes and gestational diabetes. The last two are the ones you can beat. So when you have pre-diabetes and gestational, let me go to pre-diabetes first. Pre-diabetes, you just say maybe you are not exercising enough, you are not doing, you have a break or something.
Sedentary lifestyle.
Exactly. So the sugar rises. At this time, when you go back to you see a doctor, they advise you, do exercise, do this one, you can beat that. But it's not certain that you totally beat it. It can still come later in the future. It may not still come, it depends. Then gestational diabetes is caused by hormones produced by the placenta. At that period, yes, ma'am. At that period of pregnancy, the blood goes high, the blood sugar goes high. But when you give birth, it disappears.
So you can beat those two.
But the other type 1 and type 2,
no,
you can't. You have to manage it.
Just manage them.
Okay, so I know this year is, this year we did World Diabetes Day. What's the message for this year? What's the message to the public as we remember and commemorate World Diabetes
During
Day?
our World Diabetes Day, we, the Lions Club International, we tried to create an awareness that people should know their diabetic as a sugar status. That's why I'm here to talk to people. So we did a walk, a kind of rally at Ikeja under bridge. Then we did free tests for people. We checked their diabetes, their sugar
Just
status.
sugar test. That thing is.
Yes.
What number should it be?
Okay, the normal for every human being, fasting blood sugar should be from 70 to 99.
Okay. Anything below or
anything
above?
below is, you know, we are talking of hyperglycemia, that's diabetes. There is hypo when the sugar is low. That one is also very dangerous, but we are not talking about that.
If they're over 100, you're talking about diabetes.
Yes, if it's over 100, you're talking about pre-diabetes.
Oh.
So when it gets to 25, above 25, we start talking. And not just once.
125.
Yes, ma.
125.
125, not just once. You repeat the test and repeat it again. If it still sustains that value, the person is diabetic.
Thank you very much, Dr. Modi. You say you're not professor. But it was a pleasure having you. We have to wrap up, because we don't have that much time. But thank you very much for reminding us on to get our sugar test as often as possible to check it. And once we know, and we can do it ourselves, right?
Yes. You get the kit.
You can get the kit and do it. And once you see it's 125 or so, go and see a doctor as soon as possible. It means that you're likely to be diabetic. All right. That's all we can take on the show today. As we said, there are lots of hot topics that we didn't touch on today, but definitely we'll look on it later on this week. Stay with us. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.